Good morning. It's Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. and Vaughn. How's everybody doing this morning?
I'm doing. How are
Got
you
a little
doing?
Lions news. It's nothing major because there's no announcement as to what their positions are. But two highly regarded scouts in the NFL have signed with the Lions. Tom Roth and Wayne Joseph. So until I know what their titles are, there's no sense really going into too much detail. But both of them have done really good jobs for the teams they've been on. One is reunited with our D-line coach. He's from the Titans. The other one came over from the Raiders. This is the guy that found Max Crosby and all those guys. So we got Dwayne Keene in the chat. Good morning to all. Let's go. Detroit Lions, one pride, Kings of the North Division Championship title. But until I know what their title is, they're just two guys that's more in the scouting room as far as I'm concerned. Wouldn't you feel the same way, Leonard?
I do, sir. I do.
I mean, the one has been a scout for 4 different teams, so I don't know how highly regarded he was. Been on 4 different teams.
I told you what I thought it really was last night.
Yeah, I know. That's funny, but that's not it. Schedule released today. Can't wait for it. Yes, we will be live at 9 p.m. with the reaction show. So far, I have a Steelers fan and a Chiefs fan lined up. I got Robert Scope of Sports Scope, and I got Ralph Williams of RW Media. Hard Knocks are doing the Giants.
Yes, sir. Oh, just for shits and giggles, I'll tell you, the Giants are opening up week 1 against the Vikings.
Let's rock and roll. Giants on Hard Knocks. Gotta love that, right, Von Doom?
I would have liked it so much more if Wink Martindale was still there.
Oh, to see the fight between him and Brian Dable?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Charles here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Meat Fat Bodies by Jeremy Campbell.
Dwayne Keene, there is still no news about the Sutton contract yet, and that's why there's been no free agency moves, no signings, no anything. And just another chance to seal Khalil Pimpleton's star in Hard Knocks. Yes, sir. Wendell Robinson, fantasy dark horsebound Doom.
Honestly, if we have anybody that can throw him the ball, yes. The guy averages 4 yards of separation per play last year. Nobody was close to him.
No international games for the Lions. Thank goodness. Yeah, that's what they're saying. It looks like all 3 of our opponents have international games. 2 of them lose home games in the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. The Giants also.
Giants are international.
Yep. And that is also what led into the Giants not having as hard, the Lions not having as hard of a schedule as the rest of the division. They don't have to go overseas.
Some bullshit.
Hey, it's lining up for the Lions to have another good season in the North.
Cheating bastards. Nope. It's Giants Panthers in Germany.
Good morning. It's a great day to be a Lion One Pride. Yeah, they released that it was. So far, that's the rumored leak. I don't trust the rumored leaks anymore because you remember last year, the only one they got right was the Chiefs game. Remember that, Von Doom, us going through the list, and the only one that was right was week 1?
Mm-hmm. I got the entire Giants schedule dropped to me this morning, so yeah.
Yeah, if you get an international game, you have 9 games. You are the home team. Unfortunately, it's 2 NFC opponents week 1. Philly got the home game. Packers are away in week 1. So they still get their 9 home games on regular soil. I want to see the Texans on Thanksgiving or week 1. More than likely, it's going to be the Bears on Thanksgiving, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Giants and Panthers for the game in Germany. Way to send a shitty game overseas.
Well,
Now,
you know what? They put the Giants there because it's a team that fucking international fans actually know. Not like the Lions, who nobody would know who the hell they are. They think of Detroit, they think of cars, not football.
I heard it's going to be the 49ers on Monday Night Football week 17. The Texans are supposed to be an away game. Yeah, and that's why it won't be on Thanksgiving. Hey, I don't want any international games for the Lions. Think about it. It's going to behoove the rest period again. Anytime you go overseas and like Brazil is on the same side of the world. So that's not as bad of a trip as like going to London or Germany or France.
They gave them the next week off, so I'm not going to complain about it terribly.
But at the same time, we got the third weakest division schedule out of all the divisional opponents in the NFC North. The Bears are the only ones with an easier one. And that's because we don't have the international games. And the Bears no, they don't really rotate it. It's just there's one AFC matchup, there's one NFC matchup, and the Lions at home. That's how it works out. And I've heard it's going to be the Bears on Thanksgiving.
Giants play Cowboys Thanksgiving, so you know what? Ain't you guys?
Yeah, there's a loss for the Cowboys. I'm just playing Bundu.
Man, you stop fucking wishing wins on my team here, okay?
I told you they're winning 6 this year.
I want the team to perform, but I want them to lose games because I need a quarterback next year.
Yes, we are. We've lost all of them by 7 points or less. We should have won the one versus the Bills is the one we should have won. We were winning that game. Shedeur Sanders sweepstakes next year.
Dude,
Lions, Giants, NFC title. That would make for an interesting show. They'd have to win more than 6 games to get there, Ricky.
And Ricky, shut your mouth, man. I do not want that. It's what happens. When we got a quarterback that we can get and we can fix the goddamn team finally, we overperform, we make the playoffs, and we get stuck with Daniel Jones for 4 years.
Sick of so many Bears-Lions games on Thanksgiving.
It was a great rivalry. That's why.
Bears versus Lions, Packers versus Lions, Vikings versus Lions. That's why it happens a lot. It's a divisional game, and it usually means something that late in the year for one team or the other. No matter what happens, that's why it's good football to put on.
Exactly. I feel every Thanksgiving and Christmas game should be like that.
I have seen the hooker available for trade on every single clickbait sports, but I've heard nothing from Allen Park. So until I see it from Allen Park, I'm not going to say that he's available for trade. Win games, trade up into the top 3, get your QB. If you can win without a QB, trading draft capital won't hurt.
Whoa. Time out. We tried to trade up into the top 3, and we offered up King's ransom and got told to go screw ourselves.
Yeah, because the Patriots didn't want to give up on Drake May.
Bastards.
Right. We're not trading Hooker because of that. Netflix is getting the Christmas games this year, the morning, the afternoon, and the evening game.
Hang on. I got the information on that one right here. They have that locked up for 2024. Well, this year, next year, and 2026.
That's another 300 million added into the split between 32 teams pool. So there's another almost 10 million. Correct?
I believe so.
Isn't that how that works when they pay that up front? It gets split between the 32 teams evenly. It's not real, Brian. Panthers lost last night. Josh was covering the game. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. So does that mean they're out and the Rangers are in?
Oh, wait a minute. The Panthers lost, right?
Yep.
Who said that the Rangers were going? I just want to put this out there.
I know. That's why I said it, Varmdu.
The Rangers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Knicks are going to win the freaking NBA championship.
You still got to get through Dallas, right?
I don't worry about them.
One funky Lions fan? Exactly. People need to understand keeping Hooker is smarter than moving him. Every team wants a backup on a cheap deal, and that's what Hooker is. Goff slappies want him gone because they are still scared.
Man, any of you want to wait around freaking having to pay for this stuff to watch football, message me during the season. I'll give you a link.
Oh, the series is 3-2. Okay. So Panthers are still up. Gotcha. But as I'm done, you're right. I just canceled my Netflix, and now I'm gonna want to get it back soon because the price is gonna jump again. Hello, Smokey. How you doing? Good to see everybody. I don't believe Hooks is going anywhere either. It'd be a crazy situation. Next man up league, Hooker is very important, right? Otherwise, you're going to be depending on somebody like Nate Suckfeld to back up if perchance an injury happens to Goff.
That's your boy.
I thought we were talking about the Michigan Panthers. I was so confused. No, we got a few South Florida Tribune guys that subscribe to the channel, Orlando. You should recognize the name. And I appreciate them being here. They keep the chat lit. They have some good questions every now and then. Every now and then they're goofy questions, but I address them all because it is an Ask the Host Tuesday. So I think Hooker's very important. It's very important that we do see him ball out this preseason because you know what that means? If anything happens to Goff, we have a competent backup to go in. Is undone. Fans forget what it was like having to watch Tim Boyle in 2021 when Goff got injured. Need a backup like Hooker. Yes. If Suckfield ever becomes a starter, we will be depending on our defense and punting on first downs. Come on. Come on, Orlando. Your name is Orlando. You should know we are Florida boys. +1 rocket scientist.
Who I am 100% positive is Matt Patricia in disguise.
No. He's too young. And I don't think he weighs 340 plus pounds. Oh, boy. I don't think we can because I heard part of Goff's bonus is going to go on this year's cap. If that's the case, we have nothing left after we sign Ennis Straw and Terrion Arnold.
Before it, I think they had, what, 5.4 million?
I think it's 5.3 to 5.4, somewhere in there is what we'll have left if with the bonus that they added on to this year's cap room.
So just hear me put this out here. Goff is averaging over the next 2 years 65.2 million each year.
But wait a minute, it gets better. I want to explain how it gets better. They stretched it out. There's 2 void years at the end of the contract. Yes, it equals that as a total is what he's getting the first 2 years, but it's not 62.5 a year. You know what it's going to end up? He's going to end up with a base
38.
salary of about 43 million with his bonus that don't count towards the cap spread out, and the rest of the bonus is going to the guaranteed salary is going to be in those 2 void years in 29 and 30. I've already looked
Man,
at it.
making way more than Patrick Mahomes now. I hate it.
His average cap hit will be less than Mahomes, is what I'm getting at.
I don't care about the cap. I'm talking about cash monies.
Cash money, he doesn't make more than fucking Patrick Mahomes. Over the next 6 years, Pat Mahomes gets 280 million. He gets
I'm talking over the next
212.
2 years.
He's not going to be making more than him. It's going to equal out to about 43 million till year 4. The year 4 is a team option year because there's no dead cap or hardly any whatsoever. That's the only year that's going to be more than 50 million. You watch. The 4th year will be 57 million if we keep him. No, if you restructure the void years, it stretches out the void years against the cap. It just lowers it. It does not change because that's his guaranteed money. And the way I heard, it's not fully guaranteed. It's guaranteed just like if he's on the roster type stuff. So that's different too. He's only going to get like 36 million after the 2 years, is what it's breaking down to. Where's Josh Dorr? He must have had a long night covering the Panthers game. That or he's busy working this morning. You know, he said he's a janitor. He might be cleaning toilets. Lions always have an outlaw. I'm just going by the way it was reported and the way that everything was stretched out in that one that I sent you afterwards. He's a Democrat. He doesn't work. Isn't it? I'm going to be super hard on Goff this season if he struggles. No excuses after getting the bag. Well, he's technically only got the cap hit that it is this year. But it might be as much as 50.
It's
That's
Super
scary.
Bowl or bust.
It is Super Bowl or bust for the entire team. For this, if you think about it, with everything we added to this team, we addressed the weakest parts of our roster, bolstered them, added pieces to make it better. That's because Brittany's cheap, Fred Peterson. Brittany is cheap. He makes 45.6 million a year. And the reason why is he restructured his contract through the rest of it. There's 4 void years at the end of that 10-year contract. Over the next 6 years, he makes a total of $280 million. It's just 45 million a year. He did that to help his team. See, and I disagree with this because they brought people in that are better than where they got them at. And you watch, those guys will be fine when they take over. They brought them in to develop them because they're not ready this year. It was smart to do that. Manu, Egekun, Mahogany. And according to all the beat writers that was at the camp that I talked to, Mahogany looks just exactly like Jonah Jackson did when he left. And if he's looking that good as a rookie and he's depth, I think we're going to be fine. Question for Von Doom. Have you ever had a Costco hot dog?
Yes. Yes, I have.
How long was Love sitting behind Rodgers? 3 years. Just like Rodgers sat behind Favre. 3 years. We're really relying on UDFA centers. You say no way? Kingsley Egukun, before his injury, was considered the best center in college football. Ask Von Doom. We talked about him last offseason.
Yeah, he was pretty solid.
So we brought him in as a UDFA because he was injured and undrafted. He's already cleared medicals or they couldn't put him on the field. So I think he's better than everybody gives him credit for. You're just treating him like a UDFA center. He wasn't a bum at Florida. Glasgow plays center, but he's predominantly a guard. Yes, do we really ask Von Doom if he had cheap wieners in his mouth?
Hey, man. Sometimes it feel like that. $20 is $20.
I knew you were going to go there. Yeah, that's why I love you guys. You guys don't miss anything. I myself have never even been to a Costco. That wiener's got VD now. Orlando's on one today, ain't he? Something like 18% of the Hall of Fame is UDFAs. Worrying about draft status is stupid. That I didn't want to say stupid. Uneducated. If you eliminate the Costco, you'd be right. He loves wieners. I see the Jags play overseas twice this year. Thank God the Lions don't. Do you think we open up against the Cowboys? Nope. The Cowboys, it's already been leaked and confirmed they are playing the Cleveland Browns at 425. Goat UDFA. Yes, there has been plenty of them. 18% of the Hall of Famers that have been inducted over the last 30 years came from UDFAs. Is undone. Egwakun got a bigger bonus than the UCLA UDFA. James Harrison. Okay. Because they look at everything that Goff can't do instead of what he's done, Steve. And a lot of people don't like it. The only thing I don't like is the length of the contract. I understand that market value goes up. I understand it's an overpay because all 6 of those QBs that are getting paid more than Patrick Mahomes per year are overpaid.
And realistically, anybody making more than $10 million a year to play a fucking kids game is overpaid.
Well, the cap room allows it. So
yeah, I'm still saying the whole thing is ridiculous. The whole freaking juggernaut of a conglomerate that the NFL is.
Well, that's the reason why we pay $150 for nosebleed tickets now.
Mm-hmm. Greed.
At spots, almost every UDFA we've had on this roster has had to play at one point or another. Quentin Bohanna, who had more sacks than Benito Jones. Did you forget about him? There's been plenty. When Patrick got his contract, what was the salary cap at that time compared to what it is now? It was a lot less. As a matter of fact, when Patrick got his contract, but it didn't start till 2 years later because they picked up his 5th-year option. Is that not right, Von Doom?
Well, honestly, I don't fucking remember. That was a while ago. I'm a little old. My memory goes here and there.
I believe last year was his first year on the regular contract, and he restructured right after the Super Bowl, if I remember right.
Mhm. Oh, we don't play you guys this year, do we?
Kurt Warner, the GOAT UDFA, I agree. I'm a little irritated talking with the Life last night. Our plans to go to Chicago to watch the Lions versus the Bears may be on hold because she didn't realize it's an outdoor stadium if it's in December. She don't like the cold, and neither do I, but it's football. Bundle up and drink more.
Normally I'd agree with you there, Fred, but realistically, after you saw those people that got freaking that frostbite and the one guy that died at the Chiefs game, man, don't even risk that shit.
Yeah, Dick Night Train Lane was a UDFA. There's been a lot of goats.
Ooh, one funky Lions, right?
You're actually wrong. Steve, I just don't like that Goff panics under pressure. I can't get the two-handed chest pass fumble out of my head. I won't ever forget that he got Tyrell Williams decapitated in 16 plays. Yes, sir, Ralph, you will. Like I said, it will be the schedule release reaction show. We'll go over a little bit of news from everybody's teams that they cover. I think you're mistaken. We have one or two of those UDFAs actually make the roster every year. Khalil Dorsey made the roster. Absolutely, Ralph. Smoking Dad in the building. Lions' favorite UDFA, Zach Zenner. Yes, I love Zach Zenner when he was here because we had Reggie Bush and Joik Bell go down that year. And I'm not talking about Anna Kardashian either. Come on, Von Doom, that's funny. Everybody forgets Reggie Bush started to get injured a lot after he dated Kim.
That's because he went soft. He went from banging into hard ass to running into fucking a pillow all the time.
Zach Zenner is better than Craig Reynolds. 100% he is. Tom Kennedy is growing on me. He just won't go away. He's a Detroit Lions treasure, as Von Doom says it.
You know, he's a fucking national treasure.
6 years on the same team and played 6 games. Well, the fact that they didn't sign Ross, and I think we're out of room because we signed the other guy. We've got 4 with 4 that are to be determined so far that I know about as far as rumors, but I don't trust the rumors. And he goes, Steve, I don't like the contract because it's too much. We are paying like a star, which he's not. Take that money away from other potential high quality players and the possibility of not seeing Hooker. And Big Dan Davis says it best. Mr. Kennedy. I wonder if Tom Kennedy would have made more money if he played professionally lacrosse instead of being a practice squad guy. Probably.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't. Okay. He didn't stay on the squad last year. Remember, we signed him back 2 different times last year. Remember that, Von Doom?
Yep, hold on.
We let him go right after the preseason. Excuse me, after the preseason. Wrong hooker, Van Davis. Fred Peterson, if you're in Detroit, you see a hooker every day. They're everywhere. Oh. Yeah, because The lacrosse teams don't make as much as the NFL teams, so no. I'm being on the practice squad. He makes a minimum of $750,000 a year. It would be wide receiver 6, Orlando. Why do the Lions love Kennedy so much? Don't know. Camp Cockroach that won't die. They've sprayed him with Raid. They've spread him with Hot Shot. They called in Terminex. He's still back. Yes, they announce it tonight at 8 p.m. is when it all goes live. So at 9 p.m. I'm doing the scheduled release reaction show. Steve, would you like to be a guest? I'd love to have a Packer fan on. Greg Peterson, LOL, Dan Davis. I live on the west side of Michigan. I work in Grand Rapids, but I live in the boonies. I don't see hookers anymore. Yes, you do. You work in Grand Rapids, you see them. All you gotta do is go out to lunch. Unless you're like me and pack a lunch. If I'm available, I would love to. Smoking Jeremy B at gmail.com. Send me an email. That way I can email you the link later. Good hands, route running and blocking. A tad slow and can't create tons of separation. And still, in the 3 years that Goff has been here, has the longest completion of any Lions that thrown a football. Number 2 is Jack Fox. Just to get it out there.
So they both should have been paid more than Goff.
I'm not going there. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, JB. So I got a question, kind of mid-season question. Say the Lions don't get the production they want out of JMO. What's some deadline additions you could see to help us this season? None. We have no money. None. Brent says, hey, Von Doom.
Hey, Brent.
Big Dan Davis. Brent Peterson, you're at Grand Rapids. He said he lives in the boonies but works in Grand Rapids. But if you go to the Greyhound bus terminal, Transit Authority Center, there's hookers everywhere outside of that. At least there was last time I was there.
JBJ. See, I agree. Trade that bitch.
Can't trade him now.
Sure you can. I'll just run your team.
With what money? This is what Lions fans don't get. This isn't Madden. You don't turn off the salary cap. Where are we going to get the money to sign these guys? We don't have $20 million in extra after signing Ennis Rakestraw and Arnold. We have nothing. It went to Goff. This is why I didn't want the deal done before the team was built. We all say we need this, we need that. $5 million won't even be enough to sign Michael Thomas or Stephen Gilmore. I don't know why you guys want to do it. Brent says I live in the boondocks but work in crappy Lansing. That and the fact that Sutton's contract is still on the roster. No, we don't. Because some of that bonus is being rolled into the season. Watch. It's going to happen.
Oh, of course it's going to happen.
Good morning, Fred. Or sign OBJ. Why? I thought he would just got signed not too long ago. Didn't he just get signed there, Von Doom?
He's in Miami.
Yeah, he's in Miami. He's a Dolphin now. I think we talked about that. What was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yes,
on
sir.
the NFL Roundtable Talks.
Yes, it was.
Amen, Big Davis. Big Dan Davis. Right. Right now, we don't. Big Dan, I work about 10 minutes from there, though I don't work in a good area. It's very busy with semi-traffic, lots of cops. Those skinks would get ran over or picked up before you could smell them. That's why I want to see the actual numbers. Things like how much they will have left this year and what the actual cap number is in 2026. Stop lying. You're not him. That's how I know you're a hater. Hey, Steve, and good morning, brother. Williams from Illinois is strictly slot, though. Dresser, he's competing at slot. Yeah, that's fine. Because Amon Ra is our 2, everybody. They're going to put Jamison Williams out there as our 1 to blow the top off of defenses. DPJ is the 3. They will switch them around on where they line up, but that's how, it is what it is.
Amon Ra's a glorified slot receiver. I don't care.
That may be, but he plays everywhere and still makes catches. Teams double him for a reason. And they put their best and their third best on him every time. You've seen it. And he still makes the catches. Yeah, some guy always does it. If Love has a season like he had last season and you guys make the playoffs, the market will be more for Love next year because it'll be higher. Watch.
Because he's a better quarterback. He's more physically talented. I'm not going to say a better quarterback. He's more physically talented. You got better.
Yeah, there you go. He's more physically talented.
And he doesn't have a name like Goof.
Neither does Jared Goff.
Yes, it does. It's Jared Goof.
There's no
How many times you think in his life his teacher called him Goof instead of Goff? Be real.
Right. They had to rotate their third best defender on top of him. They covered him twice, one underneath and one over top. That's what they have to do with St. Brown. Everybody that wants to shut St. down, you have to dedicate 2 of your secondary, which means someone else is free. Unfortunately, Goff doesn't see JMO free.
Hey, Orlando. Yes, he's a Hines Ward Golden Tate type. Neither one of them were number 1s either. They were glorified slot receivers. It's the role they play, and it's a perfect role for him. Because look what he gets. He gets volume. And that's what matters for him.
Exactly why Laporta ate at a record pace. Right, because they threw it to him in coverage 2 over JMO. Go back and watch the games. JMO was open. Free JMO. He's been free. What was Baker's contract he just signed with Tampa? A lot less. Steve, yeah, so would you be happy if Love was the second highest paid QB? I wouldn't be. You're absolutely right. Disner, Dunstall, Brad Holmes are more important than Ben Johnson. You're absolutely right.
Baker Mayfield's contract was 3 years, $100 million. With $40 million guarantee. So, not terrible. What's a 33 a year? Roughly?
You're absolutely right. We already said this. It'll never look like a steal. I'm sorry. $50 million for a quarterback is not a steal. Brent, Love will be resigned if he has a year like last year. And I mean his latter half of the year, because the first half of the year he stunk. It was Love Stinks. John Dorsey is the most underrated scout in the front office. No,
Yes,
he
he'd be a
actually
giant
isn't.
fucking homer.
No, he isn't. For one reason. Goff stays on the field, Burrow can't.
You put fucking God behind that offensive line in Cincinnati, and he wouldn't stay on the field either.
So the situation with Sutton when the warrant was released, the felony warrant, you were on here when it broke, and we released him right after the show was over. They put in to have his contract voided. There has been no word if it has or hasn't. So right now, that is sitting like a $12.5 million anchor on our salary cap. If it isn't voided, it becomes a $21 million anchor because then the 8.5 dead cap becomes a problem too. Correct, Von Doom?
Yep.
So right now, there is no change. And that is why we stopped making moves because that morning, I mean, literally, what was it? 10 minutes after we announced the signing of Zietler, because it happened that morning as we went live. The warrant came out, correct?
Yes, sir, it did.
And then we made no moves, nothing. A whole bunch of little prove it deals that didn't count against the cap. That's all we did. Because it came out as a felony warrant and it was reduced to a misdemeanor. So now
Which
the
may
NFL,
totally get wiped off completely by the time it's all said and done. And then there's absolutely no valid reason for it.
an arrest warrant for domestic violence, according to the Lions contract, is worth firing him over, but it may not be able to get his contract voided.
Exactly is what I'm saying. Because realistically, a warrant isn't being said, hey, you're guilty. It's just we assume that you're guilty. So I think it's ridiculous to be able to cut somebody unless they legitimately are caught on camera killing somebody before they do due process.
With having a female owner, I get it. You get an arrest warrant for domestic violence, you're off the team. No one is talking about it. It's probably a non-factor. It's a big factor because he's still on the books. He wasn't signed to play press man as a CB1. And you got to blame AG for that. Don't have to sue. They don't have to sue. It's in our contract. It was in our contract. There are certain things, if you get arrested for, you're off the team. So they have to apply to get the contract voided to save the money. If the NFL approves it, there's nothing the NFLPA can do because they meant, okay, because it's in the contract, it's justified. Yes, we'll void it. That's how it works. So it's truthfully up to the NFL.
Probably.
I'm still not 100% with AG. To me, he has to prove himself. Absolutely. I mean, number one, we played a 3-4 under the entire 2021 season. The last 6 games of the year, it looked like our defense finally had it down. Even the secondary played better. You commented about that, Von Doom.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks after the draft, and this is before you were a part of the show, once I went solo, 2 weeks after the draft, AG comes out. We draft 3-4 under guys. A bunch of them. We're switching to a 4-2-5. I have never seen a defensive coordinator who taught a scheme to a team switch it the next year after they finally got the scheme down. You say low talent, but every year the defense got better, but at passing defense.
What reason? No, okay. The talent at corner was kind of iffy because guys kept getting hurt and you signed bums, but he has no excuse now. Absolutely no fucking excuse.
100%, Brent. I won't even say this year. The first 6 games is when he has to prove himself. Yes, sir. I said this is the no excuses year for AG with the free agents we got, and then we drafted 2 corners back to back. 100%. There is no reason why we should have a bad passing defense. Well, guys, it's that time when we have to talk sponsors because I got another show to do in 15 minutes. So here we go. Let's go down the list. Everybody's favorite sponsor, it's FTP. What does it stand for, everybody? Let them know,
Fuck the
Von.
Packers.
Yes, fuck the Packers. Fuck them sons bitches. Just for you, Steve, because we love you.
I agree, no excuse, but I never blamed him in the beginning with lack of talent. Dude, lack of talent wasn't what I blamed him for. What I blamed him for was the inability to develop talent. He ruined Jeff Okuda. He ruined Amani Oruye. He kept changing schemes that didn't benefit his team. You had Ben Johnson, who built the defense around his freaking
offense.
Yeah, he hides Goff's freaking flaws. Where freaking AG, on the other hand, exposes all his team's flaws by switching his shit up and putting guys out of place.
Amen. FTP, 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 FTP. I agree, no excuses now, but I never blamed him in the beginning with the lack of talent. I blamed him because he is 100% a Pro Bowl corner while playing, correct?
Yes.
Was he not a Pro Bowl corner? Like 3 times, I believe, right? In his career?
Yes, yeah, Orlando. Are any of them defensive backs? Also, rocket scientist, what do you have against toilet paper?
We have positional coaches that develop them. I would have rather promoted Calvin Shepard myself. And I said that. How many times, Von Doom? Asking Jack Campbell to play edge. Asking Derek Barnes to play middle when he was a defensive end and outside linebacker his entire career at Purdue.
Yep.
Found the pastrami. That being said, we have a couple more sponsors to do. Gloss Negron, the best window tinner in Saginaw. 409 Hamilton Street in Saginaw, Michigan, 989-443-9240. Give them a call. Schedule your appointment to get your windows tinted or your car detailed. Mention this ad. He will give you a nice little break on the pricing. And last but not least, we got Brandon Service at the corner of West Atherton and South Grand Traverse. 602 West Atherton Road. Right here in Flint, Michigan, 810-233-8230. Stop in, check us out. Best prices on used tires. If you need a new tire, please call us at 810-233-8230. Talk to George Red or myself to get your quote. Mention this ad if you're buying a set, and you will get $10 off a set. One funky Lions fan, the first 6 games when Okuda was in press man coverage and AO was floundering because he was pissed that he lost his CB1 spot in playing press man as his own corner. He actually held A.J. Brown to 14 yards. He held Justin Jefferson to 13 yards. No touchdowns for either one of them in those 2 games. Remember that? He held Tyler Lockett down. What?
You had that backwards, though. He's a press man corner.
I said Okuda was a press man corner, and AO was the one that was pissed because he lost his CB1 job, and he is his own corner. I said it right. I said Okuda was press man, and AO was zone. Am I wrong?
No, the way you said it, though. You said he was his own corner playing press man. That's where you got it backwards.
At the end of the sentence, I said AO was a zone corner playing press man. That is what I said. He batted 4 balls away from Justin Jefferson. Come on, stop it, is undone. That is the work van just for hauling the dead tires across the street to our trailer for the shredder.
I keep trying to get him to paint the thing white, but he won't do it.
No.
Hey, that's how you get rid of Packers fans. Just put free cheese on the side.
Free love autographs.
Then take them over to the shredder.
Yeah, that's it. Be like Fargo. Okuda, Ebron, you can name a million first-round picks that have been busts.
So there's a difference, though. Ebron shouldn't have been a first-round pick there. Okuda was the best corner coming out of college that year, and if you guys would have just put him in the right freaking scheme, he would have been fine. But you guys have a fucking issue with drafting people that don't fit your defensive schemes.
I like that van. Looks vintage. It's a 95. It needs lots of work. Is undone. They bracketed Jefferson that game. Okuda did a good job locking him down, though, in my opinion. He did. Creepy white vans have pedo vibes. Stay away. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back on in about 10 minutes. You guys have a blessed day, and we will be right back on Restream. Our favorite, right, Bondu?